You see, national anthems most of the time tell, in a nutshell, the story of a country. You know? And that's why most people are passionate about the national anthem of their country. Again, I don't know what it is with us in this country. You see that in some formal occasions, when the national anthem is being sung, you see even senior officials moving around, doing their things as though nothing were happening. At any occasion where the national anthem is being rendered, everyone must stand still, exactly where you are, not moving anywhere until it finishes. You know? And this attitude needs to be imbibed, because you find that in formal institutions, I don't want to name names, we have observed this and we have written letters, you know, as National Orientation Agency, to various government institutions, arms of government, where we have noticed and people have brought to our attention that if in this kind of place, national anthem is being rendered, and such senior officials are moving, what examples are they giving to the rest of us ordinary folks? You know? So it's a very solemn time, anytime that you find the national anthem being rendered. And in most other countries of the world, you see the kind of respect, the passion. Watch the face, for instance, of the British, when they had an occasion and the national anthem. But our response is impersonal. And I agree with you, Claire, that most people just render this national anthem impersonally. They don't meditate on the specific words in the national anthem. This is part of what we intend to achieve with the National Identity Project. We're going to take all of these items one after the other, and then using multiple communication platforms, we're going to get Nigerians to recognize the significance of this.
Sometimes we funkify or discofy our national anthems, and yes, and you see different versions.
Yeah.
Yes, with drum beats and I get yes.
I think sometimes, I mean, I'm glad that NOA is here. A lot needs to happen, especially in our entertainment world. We're very, very creative people, and we don't know the limit of the creativity when it comes to symbols. There are very clear tones that have been set in the national anthem.
Precisely.
That needs to reflect each time
and respect it.
And respect
it's called the musical score.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And with the way our young musicians want to be creative, it's because sometimes they don't have, that perception of how rigid the delivery is supposed to be. I mean, I also, the person who asks you at what time should,
yes, and that's Engineer Kashim Ali. Thank you, Engineer Kashim Ali, for watching.
It's very important. What people actually abuse that. The truth is that it is not to be sung at every time that you just feel like singing. It's not your birthday and then let's sing the national anthem. Or you're having a naming ceremony, we can as well sing the national anthem because this child must be, a true Nigerian. No, it's supposed to be for official functions. And in those official functions, there must be a symbol of authority of the office of a particular agency that is there at the point at which you are singing the national anthem. You're not supposed to just sing the national anthem because you want to start an event. I worked internationally in about 8 different countries, 5 continents. And the time that you would hear them get up to sing the national anthem, a governor must be in the room.
Yes,
a president or a head of an agency must be in the room. It is not that we're just starting this training, let's sing the national anthem. And the organization just gets up, and inside their room, and they're singing the national anthem. There's a desire.
Yes, sorry, please, just hold it there. I need you to also clear, within public institutions, holding regular, meetings and all that, can the national anthem, be sung at such meetings?
If the head of the institution is present, or somebody representing the head of the institution.
Okay, like the permanent secretary.
Like a permanent secretary, like the DG, like the honorable minister, anyone that is representing the authority of government is present, they can actually sing the national anthem because they are at that time connecting that event as a national event of significance.
But is this stipulated anywhere in the books.
That is where we need to ask National Orientation Agency, because I think
if it's not stated anywhere,
yes,
if it's not in the Constitution, the National Orientation Agency hasn't given it to us as this is the way to go, then it comes down to mere opinion.
I agree with you,
but
and I've
this-
taken
but
it
that's
up.
why-
I've actually taken it up
Yes.
before. I mean,
No, I want to define.
Minister Fashola,
Yes.
who is an SAN,
Yes.
you understand, who should know better, would even say that when he is presiding, is an honorable minister, you know, at that time. After leaving office, he came on and said, I've always told people, do not sing the national anthem when I walk into the room, because I am not, you know, representing the symbol of authority of at that time. Do you get the point I'm making? So we need it to be clarified. I don't know whether the Ordinance Act,
Mr. Mustafa
covers
says
it.
No, I've been saying it. I'm sorry. Point of correction.
Yes.
I want to correct myself. The other time I was referring to Section 28. It's not Section 28. It's Section 24
Okay.
of the Constitution, and it reads, "It shall be the duty of every citizen to abide by this Constitution and respect its ideals, its institutions, the national flag, the national anthem, the national pledge, and legitimate authorities." Duties. It says that it shall be the duty of every citizen to respect. So when you respect the national anthem, it is a duty imposed on you by the Constitution. We don't need to go far. You know, National Anthem has its own act as well. It's an act of the National Assembly that must bring anything we do must be brought into bear by.
Yes, that's why it was changed. And
yes,
it was
that was why it was
repealed and
changed.
reenacted.
Yes.
What happens to those who do not stand, you know, when the national anthem is played?
Yes.
What should happen?
It's a misdemeanor.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Misdemeanor, you take them to the court of law
Or if they are moving around.
and charge them
Yes.
for misdemeanor. And it's there in our law, both in the penal code and the criminal code.
Does it apply to security agent officials?
Nobody
Because
is-
at events, when the national anthem is being played, you find that security aides move about.
Nobody is above the law. It's because we keep saying it. Let us do it. Let us do it as a chain. NOA in the school. We start from the school.
It's the school, actually.
Let us start from civic education.
It's the school.
We go to the NOA. Then constitution. Everybody should have constitution in their homes.
Yes.
Everybody should be able to know the content of the constitution.
You're going too far, my brother.
Not-
you see,
Thank you.
let's understand one thing, that Nigeria is still struggling with out-of-school children. Majority of those children that you saw on the streets, breaking slabs and removing iron rods, you know, climbing street lights and removing, you know, the aluminium
the police.
to take to scrapyard to go and sell. They are out-of-school children. The fact that they saw an opportunity, you cannot convince them the difference between protest and riot. As far as they are concerned, anytime you are on the street, you are rioting. And it is an opportunity for them to take something that can provide a meal for them the next day when the riot is over. As much as we are bringing back civic education, moral instructions, because we had moral instruction, then it became civic education. And, you know, NOA is now saying that we are going to have a whole charter on nation building and, you know, which is good. But first and foremost, the nation has to go back to the basics in terms of education. Education is everything. The civic education is part of education. Moral instruction is part of education. And when we have a lot of children out of school, what that simply means is that education will not reach the children that are out of school. But the children that are out of school will grow at the same pace with the children that are in school. So you would always have that strata of the population that is mixed, uneducated, half-educated, and completely educated. So you have three strata. And what you find eventually is that as they grow up, they continue to grow in that space. So if there are problems, the ones that are educated may understand the root cause of the problem and try to find solutions. The ones that are in between will struggle between following those that didn't know and following those that know. In fact, some evidence has shown that those who dropped out of school actually are more dangerous than the ones that didn't go to school at all, because they thought they knew what they knew, but they didn't actually know anything. So you saw what happened during the protest. Some where education is strong, people were on the streets, they were protesting, they had flags, they had, all kinds of, banners and placards, and they were saying this is what we want, and they were making demands. The ones who were obviously not in school, underage and all of that, they ran after slabs and started breaking slabs. They were climbing, bridges and removing iron, and they were removing, aluminum, straps from street lights.
I saw one that removed the police post.
Exactly, and carried it. Because for them, all that was in their mind is that this is an opportunity for me to make some money when all this is over. I'll hide it, and then, I'll go and sell it, and I'll make some money. Maybe I'll buy a wheelbarrow, and I'll become, a self-entrepreneur. So that's what is on their mind, because they actually don't have anything going on.
I'm just thinking,